In Israel, food tech is big business. And if you're wondering how a tiny country with limited farmland has become an industry titan, look no further than technology. The most recent Israeli data from 2020 shows more than $114 million in alternative protein investments, but growing at more than 150% annually.
Today it's growing exponentially, it's unbelievable. And especially alternative proteins, which is the biggest, fastest growing segment. Israel is actually number 2 in absolute number of companies.
And that's coming alongside an unbelievable spike in global demand for these alternatives, expected to be $155 billion by 2027.
If you are talking about the market today, the meat alternative segment get about 1% from the total meat market. So it's expected to reach, with less than 10 years, to about 10% from the global meat manufacturing market. And as for the prices, again, you know, should be cheaper in the long term.
So Israeli firms are rising to the occasion to show off just how they intend to corner the market, both in substance and in style.
It looks just like a real burger, it smells just like a real burger, but it's entirely plant-based. That's not the most innovative thing about this burger, though. This was not made by human hands at all. Instead, it was made by this robot right behind me.
Of course, meat isn't the only alternative in sight for Israeli tech. The dairy market is just as lucrative and necessary.
Using animals to make a food is not a sustainable production system. We currently use 50% of the world's habitable land to grow cows and animals to grow our food. And, you know, people are saying, and studies say, that in 25 years we're going to consume 2 times more food. So 2 times more than 50% is 100%. Obviously, we don't have enough land to grow our food.
So these scientists are making dairy products in the lab, not the pasture.
This, on the other hand, is real cheese. But again, there is a catch as well. It might be real cheese, but it never came from a cow or a sheep or a goat or any other living creature. Instead, it was made from yeast and fermented into the exact same proteins as regular cheese. And if you're wondering, tastes just like cream cheese.
Remilk boasts that their lab-made milk will use just 1% of the land used in dairy production compared to traditional dairy farming, and is entirely cruelty-free. These are just some of the dozens of Israeli firms preparing to serve up tomorrow, with everything from lab-grown meat to cricket farms, with new food for a new generation.